I am lucky. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm lucky that the ambulance crew was so quick to take me to the hospital. I mean, without modern medical technology, I wouldn't have survived at all. There's no doubt that luck played a major part in how I am today, but telling me that is quite possibly the worst thing you can say to me, or in fact, anybody who's had a traumatic brain injury. I didn't feel lucky. I had cognitive problems, I had no memory of what had happened, I couldn't walk, speak, or see properly anymore. I couldn't stand noise or bright lights. I mean, what happened to me that night was probably about as likely as winning the lottery, but personally, I'd have rather have found 20 quid, got a kebab and a taxi home. Being forgetful and having memory difficulties are not the same thing. Forgetfulness is something that happens to everyone, but having a memory difficulty means that memories are physically prevented from being stored and retrieved. Expecting somebody with a memory difficulty to be able to remember something if they just think a bit harder is like expecting somebody who is short-sighted to be able to see something if they just look a bit harder. It's not always the case, but a person with a brain injury can have no physical symptoms. At first glance, they can look totally fine and healthy. The person with the brain injury has injured the brain. The injury is hidden, and therefore, so is the disability. So it may come as no surprise to you that telling somebody with a traumatic brain injury that there's nothing wrong with them may come off as a bit insulting. This is a classic reaction. It's meant as a way of cheering somebody up, but trust me, it's never cheered me up. Telling somebody who is already depressed about something even more depressing, surprisingly, doesn't bring any joy to the situation. I remember somebody saying this to me. Brain injury, particularly severe brain injury, almost always results in irreversible brain damage. The way a person recovers is by accepting what has happened and learning new coping strategies for the future. Sadly, it's not as simple as getting a grip and moving on. Although it can cause anxiety, obsession, frustration and depression, traumatic brain injury itself is not a mental illness. It's a cognitive impairment, meaning that the brain no longer works efficiently. Although it may increase the chances of mental illness developing, a person with a traumatic brain injury is not mentally ill. Traumatic brain injury can affect a person's ability to form and recall new memories and speak articulately, but it's unlikely to affect their intelligence. It's not the person's intelligence that's affected, but their ability to apply that intelligence. Don't speak down to them, just keep in mind they could be easily confused, so you should speak clearly, not necessarily slowly. How long is a piece of string? Every brain injury is different, but it also depends on your definition of better. If you mean 100% better, then the answer is likely never, as a brain injury is usually permanent. Improvement and recovery is usually the brain's adjustment to the injury and finding new ways of doing things that they've lost the ability to do.